Howdy and welcome. I'm Dr. Stacy Lyle. I'll be teaching the GIS and land management class this semester. And in this course, we're going to cover land databases and the legal ownership of land and how we represent that into a database. So we're going to go through the course this semester with some really exciting projects. I think you'll find. I have taught land courses numerous times. I give seminars for lawyers and for landmen who take and look at trying to acquire land or minerals with legal documents. So we're going to cover a lot of the legal aspects at the same time as we build some land GIS data sets and look at them. So let's just cover the course quickly. You can contact me at any time through my cell phone, or you can also email me and I'll get back to you. And this course, again, is an introduction to the concepts and design and planning implementation of a GIS for land and property management applications, rural land, agricultural land, urban areas, and cadastral surveying. So in here, what we're going to cover is we're going to start with first a global land ownership and the U.S. public land survey systems. So we're going to see how land is owned globally in different countries, and then also look at specifically how it's held in the United States. In the United States, land is, for the most part, divided into 1 mile sections or townships and range areas that consist of 36 sections. But for the 13 colonies in the states of Texas, they are actually a meets and bounds, which means land is just divided out following irregular type patterns. So we'll understand those as we go through. We're going to talk about Texas land ownership because it is an unusual state and it has a lot of rich legal background and GIS data sets that are out there trying to understand who owns those. Then we're going to cover mineral ownership rights and discuss who owns mineral ownerships. If you sever the surface and the minerals and then you start dividing up those minerals by giving out percentages, we're going to try to understand that, and then how we represent that in the different databases that might be out there about mineral ownerships. Then we're going to cover regulatory. What are the regulatory requirements, say if you were trying to do exploration oil and gas or trying to do some subsurface work? What do you have to do with the land? What is your requirements from that? We're going to talk about the transfer of title, how land was given down from the sovereign, either the United States of America or in the case of Texas, in its history with the different sovereigns create different issues, and how you transfer land throughout time. As we look at the way that land is transferred and the descriptions of those properties, we have issues that has to do with possession and land recording, which means that we look at how we try to determine ownership in doing boundary construction. Next, we'll look at writing documents for, say, surface owners and how we get right-of-ways or water rights, or, do negotiations and the documents that represent that, how we could represent our surface data sets differently than our mineral data sets and deal with those issues. And then at the end, we're going to do some legal aspects of spatial data. We have several court cases that have configured how we operate with spatial data, such as the U.S. versus Dow Chemical, where Dow was fined from the EPA because aerial photos were taken of their plant. So the Dow Chemical thought that that was an illegal aspect of trying to penalize them by the EPA, and they sued the United States on that, and they actually lost, and the United States Supreme Court made a decision about, can you take pictures, from aircraft or from public areas, from a street, such as Google Street View, and provide those or use those informations. So we'll cover a lot of those court cases. Now, throughout the labs, we'll have some labs that'll be building on a lot of these portions of things, and we'll have a lot of reading that we have to do in this course. And as we go through the reading and assessments, we're gonna maybe build some land commercial government vendor table. Where's all the data that's out there? Then we'll move over to doing some analysis of stuff in a specific area with GIS and building some stuff online. And then we'll take quizzes over our readings as we go along, just to help us to see that we understand the concepts that I'll be providing through there. All the way down to our last portion. Now, in our last portion, you'll have an actual written affidavit, and what we'll have is somebody that has actually drilled across potentially somebody else's mineral ownership, and you're going to form as an expert witness, and you're going to write an affidavit as to who you think, if they did trespass into somebody else's land, or you'll be on the other side defending, and you'll be able to choose that no, they did not trespass into their minerals. From that, I'll do what's called a deposition. So I do a lot of expert witness on court cases having to do with oil and gas, and in that scenario, you'll write as an expert, you'll write your affidavit of your opinion. Then a lawyer typically will depose you. So we will have a deposition with myself and others that will go through and depose you on your opinions, and we'll record that. And then after you get deposed, you have like 3 questions that we ask about your affidavit. You go back and you watch your deposition, and then you have a response to anything you said at that time that you might want to clear up. It's going to be a great exercise. I think you'll really enjoy it. It'll be built on the information that you've done over the semester to lead to your opinion of who you think owns the land. Well, I look forward to this semester, and good luck.